Dan.
Well, Manita, we brought you pictures from the square behind me on Sunday night of jubilant crowds, tens of thousands of people celebrating the Muslim Brotherhood's victory in presidential elections. But we, nor anyone there, realised that a young British student journalist, Natasha Smith, was being subjected to the most horrendous sexual assault by a mob of men. She's now bravely decided to go public, and this is her story.
Just hours after the Muslim Brotherhood's victory in Egypt's presidential election, we shoot jubilant crowds on a bridge near Tahrir Square, unaware that just a short distance away, a young British journalist was about to be savagely attacked. The young woman wanted to tell her story.
I was in this weird detached state of mind, and I just kept saying, please God, please make it stop. Please God, please make it stop. Good afternoon, it's 4 o'clock. I'm Natasha Smith.
Natasha Smith is a student at a journalism school in Britain. A documentary on women's rights in Egypt was to be her final college project and her first international assignment, but it quickly descended into hell. She was filming in the square with journalist friends Callum Patton and Caspar Voot, but they became separated by a mob.
Men started ripping off my clothes, and first of all it was my skirt, and that just went straight away, and I didn't even feel my underwear being removed, and then my shoes went, and then my clothes on my upper half were just ripped off me, and that was quite painful.
CNN's rooftop camera caught the moment an ambulance tried to push its way through the crowds to help her. By this point, she was being sexually assaulted by dozens of men.
Finally, after what must have seemed like an eternity, she was rescued and taken to the relative safety of this medical tent. Her friend Callum thinks had the staff there not helped, she might not have survived her horrific ordeal.
There were several moments at which I thought that she was going to die, and I think really the fact that we're all still alive, and especially Natasha is alive, is because there were so many people who were willing to help us and who risked their own lives and put them in direct danger to get her out of that situation.
Inside the tent, a man helped disguise her with a full-length burqa and escorted her away from the mob.
And I just had to pretend to be his wife and walk through the streets, and he just kept saying to me, don't cry, do not cry. If you cry, people will know. Eventually,
she made it to this hospital, where she and Callum were met by British Embassy staff, who together with doctors have corroborated their account to CNN.
There's been all this fuss because I'm British, and I'm young, and I'm a girl, but this is happening to women elsewhere constantly, and we don't hear about that. We don't hear about the stories of Egyptian women, or African women, or women across the world who will often suffer these attacks, and worse attacks, and there'll be no justice done.
Natasha Smith is now back in the UK, her documentary on hold, but she defiantly insists she will return to Cairo to finish her work, in spite of her terrifying experience at the hands of a mob.
It's of course reminiscent of the attack on Lara Logan, the American reporter who was attacked in a similar horrendous way last February. There's been another attack as well since then of an Egyptian reporter, Azza Hilal Suleiman, who was beaten savagely by the police in December. But from what we're gathering, these kinds of pack assaults by the mob here are happening often, widespread cases of this that go largely unreported. The police telling them, these women, that they shouldn't report it, it will bring shame on them and their family, and of course the perpetrators go unpunished. Manita?
Dan, thank you for that. Dan Rivers reporting to us there from Cairo, and we'll be right back. Stay with us.